roller derby. Boy, I heard 3 people cheering for Deep Valley and I think 2 cheering for Uinta Madness. Is that all the fans we have out there?
Hi.
There we go. There's some Deep Valley fans. Where are those Uinta Madness fans? There. Very nice. That sounded much, much better.
Off. You're off right now. And we won't hear each other. Hello, I am HP Chefcraft, and I'm here with Hit O'Honey.
Hello.
Hi.
I think the last time we announced together was at the Big O.
Last year?
Last year, Dockyard versus somebody. I don't know who.
That sounds likely.
Sure, why not? Let's say that.
You have a familiar face.
Sure, why not?
So right now it looks like we're going to be doing some men's derby, which is super exciting. Deep Valley Belligerents currently number 14 in the MRDA standings. And Uinta Madness unranked, if I'm remembering correctly, but if I'm wrong, people will correct me, which is pretty smooth too.
Look at you with all your stats and such. I just show up to watch the men. We are here in the first jam, off to a good start here. Looks like number 48, who is on Uinta, I believe.
Number 28, I believe that's Downer for the Deep Valley Belligerents. Because Red Tops, I believe, is Deep Valley.
Uinta in the black.
Yes, Uinta in the black tops. About 29-18 in this first period, and getting through for a 5-point pass, number 28, and that is a Downer for Deep Valley Belligerents.
Looks like Milk Toast Boy for Uinta, still trying to make his way through. Hasn't gotten quite through yet on his first pass, and finally is through.
10 points now on the jam for number 28, Downer, as he sizes up the pack for one more attempt.
Milk Toast Boy, going for that leap, trying to get through. Does not get it, does not stick the landing, so he is awarded 0 points.
I tried to do that once at a party, and it still hurts.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Unless you're drinking, then do it more.
Because it protects you.
The beer, you get a beer protection.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing.
Yeah.
It works. So, yeah, anyway.
Getting back to the action here, looks like we've got number 34 on the line. That is Herban Cowboy for the Deep Valley Belligerents.
Looks like you'll lose. I believe that's how you say his name. He is jamming for Uinta, and he is your lead jammer. Looks like Uinta either tried to pass a jammer panty, lost a jammer panty, not quite sure what happened there. I was too busy looking at the lead jammer.
Something definitely happened to the panty. It looks like Urban Cowboy receiving the panty as the pivot, number 34 for Deep Valley Belligerents. And what point score there?
Looks like 4 on the board for Uinta, but he calls it off before Deep Valley is able to score any and put anything on the board.
All right, and we're just working to get our score and time set up once again over here.
All right.
Which will make it so much easier.
So that we know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You following along at home probably can see the score on your screen. You're already 1 step ahead of us, which is probably about right, no matter if I had the score or not.
All right, so it looks like our early score is 4 for Uinta Madness and 12 for Deep Valley Belligerents with 27:07 in the first half.
Milk Toast Boy jamming up again for Uinta. But lead jammer looks like that is going to go to Dr. Rotten for Deep Valley.
Sort of a sinister name. He is making his way around the track. Meanwhile, still trying to break out is Uinta Madness.
Milk Toast Boy.
A little tight in the pack there. And it looks like a cutting the track major called on number 16, Dr. Rotten. So an opportunity for Uinta Madness to grab some points here, even though he's not the lead jammer.
Yep, so he is going to pull out this power jam here as he makes his way up into turn 2. I believe that this is going to be his first scoring pass. It looks like he's getting a little tired. He was getting a lot of attitude there in the front from Deep Valley, pushing him out and hitting him around. Looks like he's already having a difficult time. He gives a thumbs up, though. He says, I'm okay. I'm going to go. I'm just a little tired. Ooh, a big hit. Number 33. That is Sloppy Joe on Deep Valley, putting a big hit there.
Sloppy Joe with a meek-sounding name, but a vicious-sounding hit right there as the reverberation was in the back of my skull after they hit the surface.
Sloppy it was not. Number 13, Hontor, geez, hitting really hard, putting it on a number 16 from Deep Valley. That is Dr. Rotten. You're having a hard time.
And Dr. Rotten with another 5-point pass. Right now, Deep Valley Belligerents on that passive offense on the side, trying to put the heat on Uinta Madness to stop this power jam. And Dr. Rotten looking every bit the sinister villain as he shot through that pack.
I like that. He did a little jump through the middle of it. That was pretty. Or can boys be pretty?
I think so.
Not these guys, though.
My
They're
ears
not so.
are kind of pretty, so.
Hey. You're pretty.
Thanks.
Don't let your prettiness is pretty.
Shining through.
It's like a beacon of pretty.
I think it's a full-on handlebar mustache that he has, actually. It's pretty impressive display of facial hedgery there.
Facial hedgery.
Correct.
You said that. All right. And
20
well said.
24-37 here in the first half, and we've got 8 points for Uinta Madness, 27 for Deep Valley Belligerents. Number 76 on the line for Deep Valley, and that is Chemtrail.
Along with You Will Lose for Uinta. Oh, a little jammer on Jammer. You Will Lose pushing out Deep Valley's jammer. Right on the outside, decides to call it off. But it looks like Deep Valley is still able to put 4 on the board.
Some violence out there. We try to stop the beatings on the jammer and jammer. We try to set up the clinics and take care of them, but they just beat each other anyway.
They just keep doing it. It's my favorite to watch. I don't know if I'm sick like that or what, but I like the jammer on jammer.
We won't speculate. We won't take it too far. Don't worry about it. All right. It's a little bit of a weird angle we have here.
It really kind of is. I can see that Uinta look like number 69, but I don't have that here on my roster. Oh, no, excuse me. Maybe that was Deep Valley, Mr. Dick.
Forced cut right now against Uinta Madness, so on the way to the box. And meanwhile, on the track, number 28 is Downer for Deep Valley Belligerents. He is the lead jammer, and I might add the only jammer during this cutting the track major that's going to spend a minute in the box.
Nice little power jam. Effin trying to hold him back, not able to. He still makes his way right on through the middle. Ooh, a nice tough hit there from Uinta. But he still gets through and gets another 5 points.
Points keep racking up here. Apparently you score some, and then if you score more, you get to add to the previous total.
Oh, is that like math?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Downer continues to be an upper here as he grabs some more points and another 5-point pass. It's kind of a tiny pack right now. There's only 3 blockers out there for Uinta, and the Deep Valley Belligerent blockers are all playing by themselves in the back. They don't really want anything to do with the rest of the pack there.
You said tiny pack and playing with themselves in the same sentence in men's roller derby. I'm not going to say that I'm a little bit hot, but I'm just going to say that I'm a little bit hot right now. / embarrassed a little bit. I'm getting a little...
You look a little flustered.
And a little flushed. Whew.
So
anyway.
22 minutes roughly in this first half, and we've got 8 points for Uinta Madness, 56 for Deep Valley Belligerents. We kind of mentioned it at the top, but Deep Valley Belligerents, number 14 in the MRDA standings on the last release. And
you
Uinta
and your
Madness.
Statistics. Why would you ever use those in a real-life sport? Urban Cowboy jamming for Deep Valley. I believe he is the only jammer out there. No, I'm sorry. We have just released Uinta from the box. I believe that is number 69, which I don't have actually here on our roster. Can't quite see who that is.
He seems like a nice gentleman. Another one with a very good goatee. It is indeed number 69, and his name is Muffin Muncher.
Well, hello, sweetheart. Hello.
We'll just add that on with our pen. Look, a writing utensil.
I'm going to add that on indeed. Muffin Muncher. Got it. And
I guess,
with a name like that, how could one? I don't know if I even need to write that down. I've got it right up here in the good old noggin.
Sounds like he really likes his pastries.
I wish he'd take me to a bakery. Number 22, John McClain, jamming out there for Deep Valley.
And it's Dr. Rotten once again for the Deep Valley Belligerents.
Yippee-yi-yi-ki-yay.
3-wall out there for Uinta, looking pretty tight. Not a lot of space for Dr. Rotten to do his evil deeds there in the pack.
John McClain getting all tied up there in the back. He was your lead jammer, decides to call it, could not get through, but he looks like he still pick up 2 points there on that last jam.
All right, so score update here. We're 20 minutes, but I thought we were 20 minutes about 5 minutes ago.
Why would you say that?
It looks like we're 20 minutes again.
It just keeps recycling. This time will not end.
It's 8 for Uinta Madness, Uinta in black, and the red tops are Deep Valley Belligerents at 61.
Jamming for Deep Valley, we have number 76 Chemtrail against Uinta's number 801 Ponyboy Hurtis.
Both jammers trying to make their way through. Chemtrail is our lead jammer, and not a lot of space, not a lot of room at the end there at the front of the pack, as recycled was Uinta.
Indeed. Oh, it looks like Ponyboy Hurtis took a hit from his own blocker. It happens. Oh, it looks like Chemtrail is being sent to the box. I'm not quite sure if I saw what the call was. Was it that a cutting? I didn't quite see it. There was a whole bunch of things happening there in that pack.
There are a lot of things happening. That's a really good observation.
Things are
actually.
happening. That's your official play-by-play by Hiddo Honey.
I think you pretty much punch your ticket. I think that's it. 801 Ponyboy Hurtis getting through for a 5-point pass for Uinta Madness as they start to launch a comeback here on the power of a power jam, a powerful power jam.
It's not redundant at all. The redundancy is redundantly perfect. Anyway, Ponyboy Hurtis getting through, getting his 5 more points, getting a little help there from his friends, and he goes right around the outside. Another 5 in the sky for Uinta as Chemtrail has to sit on and look from the penalty box. Oh, and again, he hops right on through. Ponyboy Hurtis, another 5 on the board. Uinta trying to minimize, Deep Valley trying to minimize the points, but not able to.
And it looks like back on the track is number 76, Chemtrail. And it's going to be kind of tight here as she tries to get through before that fourth whistle. Were points picked up? And our officials say yes. And that was either 2 or 3. The angle, not so good.
Not so much. We're sitting at we're gonna blame where we're sitting on our colorful reporting.
It's not that we're missing things, it's just a really odd angle.
Yeah, that's it. I don't suck at announcing. It's a weird angle. I'm going to use that in all facets of my life. Oh, no. Don't worry, sweetheart. I'm just at a bad angle. I don't really suck at this. Am I allowed to say these things?
32 Uinta Madness, 67 Deep Valley Belligerents, 17:49 remaining in this first half. It's been Deep Valley early, but Uinta Madness launching a comeback on the strength of a very strong power jam, and I believe that was Ponyboy Hurtis that picked up all those points.
Definitely, it sure was. And actually, it was kind of fun to watch in that last one. I think I didn't quite see who that was. I think it might have been Sloppy Joe put a big hit on turn 2 on Ponyboy, sending him out into the stands. Some lucky fan got him in his lap, but that forcing him to call off that jam. Right now, it looks like we have Downer as your lead jammer for Deep Valley. You'll lose, trying to make his way through. Finally gets through. Not too far behind, about a half a length track behind.
An immediate hit off the line, jammer on jammer. You'll lose, making a recovery, and calling off the jam is Downer, who picked up
I think each picked up 1 point each.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm at a bad angle.
Yeah. You'll notice if everyone at home will put 2 fingers up and turn it sideways, and then put 1 finger up and turn
We're
it
trying
sideways.
to give visual aids. Can you see us? Put the camera on us because we're looking good right now. Gosh, we're messes right now.
All right. 34, Uinta Madness, 69, Deep Valley. Uinta Madness, Black Tops, Red Tops, Deep Valley, Belligerents. And grabbing lead jammer is Pony Boy Hurtis, number 801 for Uinta Madness, who's trying to kind of shift momentum, and they have over the last 3 or 4 jams.
Urban Cowboy, though, not too far behind. Pony Boy Hurtis, though, calling it off. Did he pick up any points on that one? We're waiting to see. We're waiting to see the fingers in the sky. Can't quite see. But I know that Uinta did not score any on that last round.
So at some point, it's possible that Danger Muffin will have to call something on Muffin Muncher. That could get a little complicated.
What is with these men and their pastries? They love their baked goods. I don't know. I love my baked goods, too.
I feel like I'm in Paris, with all the wonderful croissants and muffins.
Anyway, looks like there's some derby happening out on the track right now. Oh, is that number 69?
It is.
Muffin Muncher? No. I'm sorry. That's Uinta.
I think that's
This is Mr. Dick. If the two got together, they could make magic happen, I feel like.
And that's a 5-point pass as he gets through. And it's only a 2-person wall out there right now for Uinta. So he continues to bash his way through for another 5. 10 points so far on the jam. Deep Valley trying to pull away.
You give him credit. That wasn't just bashing his way through. He did a beautiful little spin move there, a little pirouette, if you will. That was pretty. Right through the middle, and again. That time he maybe bashed his way through. We'll call that. Another 5 points on the board for Mr. Dick.
15 points so far on the jam, and he jukes. He juked right, left, and through. Sweet little move there. He was untouched.
Mr. Dick goes untouched, making it look easy. Oh, a big hit there. Puts a big hit, gets through. He's like, I'm just going to keep going. I'll keep seeing how this works out for me.
And he did pick up another 5 points on that last pass, and the pack's getting a little bit heavier here as we get skaters returning from the bench. Right now, pack advantage favoring Uinta Madness, and they definitely could use some favor here as they are down 34 Uinta Madness, 101 Deep Valley. Uinta Madness, Black Tops, Deep Valley, Red Tops, 14-22. And it looks like both teams have all their timeouts,
So that's always fun. Mm-hmm. Anything we can do to stretch this bout out, let's do that. So you have to listen to us for the next hour. You will lose for Uinta. Culture Shock for Deep Valley, both out there jamming. Looks like we have Culture Shock as your lead jammer. You will lose. Not too far behind. Just kidding. He's very far behind because he is going to the box.
I don't know. It looked like an elbow or a forearm maybe.
Doesn't matter because Culture Shock looks like he might have gotten an elbow on that last call, and he will go to the box, releasing You'll Lose.
We can't have enough jammers in the box. It doesn't get more exciting than when it's blocker on blocker action.
Looks like we're going to call this off.
An injury maybe. It looks like we might have an injury in the middle of the track.
Looks like that's effing for Uinta Madness. They're going to go check him out. Looks like he took a tough hit to the inside. Can't quite see what he's motioning towards. At this angle, it makes it difficult.
Well, I think it's partially the angle and partially the large amount of madness between us and the location of the injury.
Nothing I like more than a large amount of madness.
We have had a lot of awesome derby this weekend. Indeed. Are you just arriving today at home?
Oh, no. I came last night.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What did you call last night?
Let's see. Who did I have? It was Wasatch against, who did they play last night? Sacred, yes. That was a fantastic bout. Back and forth all night.
So the great thing about that bout is that we were both on the same bout, but we were living Parallel Lives. You were on the house call. I was on the
Indeed.
broadcast call for that bout.
Oh, so you had to listen to me and get annoying and...
I didn't have to. I got to.
You,
It was like it was
you
a benefit.
had the pleasure.
That's right. And that was a great bout. A lot of excellent jamming. Foreclosure out there. Skull
Yes,
Candy on the track.
definitely.
Moonraker out there.
Yes.
And I'm missing one more Sacred Jammer that was amazing.
All of them.
Well, yes.
All of them.
That's
they
correct.
all get trophies here today.
Yep.
Or / last night.
I think we should pay them out of all of the funds that you're going to be receiving this weekend for your announcing.
So they should
efforts.
get my 2 $5 vouchers. Not good for alcohol. That was a bummer. It's just because that Ninkasi beer was just so delicious.
So we're here all weekend. It's a 3-day tournament. And this, of course, being day 2, we've got Australia here.
Yes.
England is here.
Indeed.
Canada.
All of that.
And a lot of the United States on the west side
Yes.
is also here.
Indeed. The United States is here today in Eugene, Oregon.
You wouldn't expect it.
Who would have thunk it?
WFTDA, MRDA, and juniors. So there's so much good action, and it's all weekend long. Last year, the Big O had a lot of that challenge bout stuff going on.
Yeah, not so much this time. I think that
And
there's one at the end.
2 scrimmages or something.
Correct.
And so what that means is that there's a ton of sanctioned or regulation play going on for the juniors, the WFTA, and then also the MRDA.
Correct. For rankings and such, for your statistics. Stat man.
That's exactly right.
Looks like Effin got up and he is okay. I'm not sure if he will be skating anymore today in this bout, but he got up. He's not dead. We're good. You'll lose for Uinta, now out jamming. And he is your lead jammer, as Deep Valley's jammer has to look beyond in the penalty box. But looks like he just was released.
And once the last Deep Valley blocker returns to play, we will have a full pack, which is pretty exciting. And a little bit of a rarity today on the men's games. A lot of penalty minutes being racked up for the boys.
Yes, quite the rarity. You never see the men go to the box, ever. They usually play so clean and perfect.
It's like a Victorian tea party out there.
Yeah.
What are we at? We're at 38 for Uinta Madness, 103 for Deep Valley, 12:38 remaining in this first half. Black is Uinta, red Deep Valley, and I'm joined by Hit a Honey,
Yes.
which is a super thrill.
Yeah, HP Shovecraft, which is something. You're here. So am I.
Thanks for the acknowledgement. All right, number 76 out there is Chemtrail for the Deep Valley Belligerents, and he is our lead jammer right now, Hit a Honey.
Indeed he is. Oh, I'm hearing a lot of O's and ahs. Looks like Chemtrail is going to be sent to the box. Oh, both jammers are being sent to the box. Looks like
Muffin
Muncher getting sent to the box. I think that was a high block on him. You would think that it would be a low block, but I guess not so much. Oh, more hits happening.
Gosh.
Oh, all kinds of things. Oohs and ahs, and you can see it. I don't know if you can see what's happening. I don't even know. Everybody's just going crazy and hitting each other and getting sent to the box for all these illegal hits. I'm getting excited. I'm getting worked up. I'm sorry.
The jammers are all back on the track. Muffin Muncher, though, here too long. He had to leave. He's
like,
in the box now.
I'm done. Can't keep going.
And that means that Chemtrail is the only jammer on the track in this power jam for however long that lasts.
Khan giving him a really hard time, but finally he is able to make his way through.
He grabbed a 5-point pass, and it's a pack advantage for Uinta Madness right now. Of course, they're missing a jammer, so that kind of washes a little bit.
That happens. Khan is really putting the hurt on Chemtrail, keeps forcing him out, having to recycle him all the way to the back of the pack again. I think this is the third time in the last 30 seconds. Oh, but now he is being sent to the box. Couldn't see what that call was. The officials they're all on the other opposite side of the track from us.
One of the things I'm noticing is that we have really good circulation for the jammers in the box. No jammer has to be on the track for too long. You can just kind of catch a breath.
Yeah.
Come on back.
Why not? The name of the game here is Power Jams, it seems to be. One at a time, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to.
It gets complicated with 2. There's more scoring to update.
Just too much. Can't follow it.
All right, so we're going to start this jam with Ponyboy Hurtis on the jam line for Uinta Madness. He will be on a power jam, and he has skeletal hands on his backside.
Indeed he does. Skeletal hands indeed. So there's that. Chemtrail for Deep Valley sitting in the box and watching. The party box, as I like to call it. Seems like the place to be. They always have like a good time, and they're like, hey, why would I come out here and play roller derby when there's a party box sitting right there? We're going to have a party in the penalty box.
Maybe a buffet or a little casino action happening over there?
Why not? Hey, everybody break open the flask, take a little sip, kick back for a minute or two. See where the party box takes us. Whatever feels right.
We can tell it's serious right now because Ms. Spider is in the middle conferring with the officials. We may hear something out of this conference that will be interesting and insightful.
Or we can make jokes and try to read lips and see what they're saying on our own. We can make our own assumptions.
Mm-hmm. I think that's actually a right as an announcer. You can try to make some. You can speculate.
Let's speculate.
As long as you say what I think is happening is, as opposed to.
As a lip reader, I think what they're saying is, what are you guys wearing to the after party? Oh, I don't know. Stripes don't look so good on me. I'm thinking about going with polka dots. See, this is what sets Miss Spider apart from announcers such as myself. She's actually serious and tries to find out what is happening here, whereas you and I just sit here and make our own assumptions.
Who is your home league once again, Hit a Honey?
Dockyard Derby Dames in the good old Tacoma, Washington.
I've heard of them.
I've heard of them too.
Yes. We've actually played them a couple times. My home league is the Cherry City Derby Girls.
Yes.
And we have done combat a few times on the oval.
I feel like that happened. Did that happen last year at the Big O? Was that correct? Was Cherry City not there? I don't remember what you and I announced with. I know that Dockyard was there. I was announcing with them.
I think it was Dockyard.
You might have filled in. There's a picture on the Facebook of us together. I'll show you later.
Because of all the history we have.
All of that history. All 1 year ago. 1 year and a few months when the Big O was back in February.
Those were the days.
The good old days.
Right now, I know that you may not be able to see it at home because we kind of have fixed views of the track, but this crowd is actually pumped and it's big. We've probably got, I don't know, a couple hundred people in here.
Yeah, quite a few.
And they're loud.
And I think that they're saying, yeah, announcers, you guys are doing great. Either that or they're trying to drown us out, to shut us up. It is one of those two things. There could be no other possibilities here tonight.
They're definitely not chanting or cheering for their team of choice.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
But they seem pretty excited. We see a lot of smiling faces out there, and it's great to have all of the bodies watching the men's derby.
Indeed.
Which has gained a lot of popularity in more recent times.
So I hear. Ponyboy Hurtis for Uinta. Gets your lead jammer, the lead one and only jammer. Oh, and he slides his way through as Deep Valley is looking at him like, what are you doing, man? Come on, let's go. Pick this up. They move to the back, trying to force him. They're bridging it out, trying to force him back as far as they can.
Yeah, the recycling really hurts when you have to go all the way back.
It's the worst. Just to tire them out a little bit more and waste that much more time to try to minimize all those points on the power jam.
Ponyboy Hurtis with one to beat, and he shrugs off a big hit to grab 5 in the sky for Uinta Madness, who's trying to crawl right back into this one.
I believe Chemtrail was just released from the box, and I think that he already made one pass through, but I think that was his initial pass, so he does not get any points. Then again, I don't know anything. Do not trust me.
You know, I'm just taking a look real quick here. It looks like 7:45. We've got Emerald City against Terminal City. That looks like an interesting bout.
I'll stick around for that. Mm-hmm. Why not? Mm-hmm. I've got nothing else better to do.
I would watch that.
I would watch that too.
Also, Victorian versus Sacred.
I'll watch that. Why not? I have an orange wristband that lets me watch that.
We might be able to slap some high fives with actual Australians.
Oh, I don't think I've ever done such things before in my life. A nice big hit. It looks like number 16, Dr. Rotten for Deep Valley, is your lead jammer. You will lose for Uinta, but it was called off before anything happened.
So our score remains 49, Uinta Madness. They are in black shirts. Our red shirts are Deep Valley Belligerents at 1:15. We're down to just about 8 minutes left here in the first half. And both team with their timeouts, they do. They have a full complement of timeouts, unless that was a team timeout.
I believe. It looks like an official timeout because I don't see them pointing to any of the teams.
The pointing sometimes does give that away.
The pointing, it's nice. It indicates which team is giving the timeout, and I saw no such pointing.
So Victorian losing last night to the Wheels of Justice. And they show up here today, and I believe they had 2 bouts. Earlier today they bouted. Did you see the earlier bout?
I did not see the bout. I believe I was busy announcing another bout.
Terminal versus Victorian, and I believe Victorian was victorious against Terminal.
You believe. Does that get you out of any legality of having to be correct?
I don't have to sign any kind of waiver if I say believe or I think or quite possibly.
I believe Sasquatch might quite possibly be real.
You're fine.
Yeah, okay.
You're good.
Good. I like that. Whereas I was to say, I know for a fact Sasquatch is real. That could get me into some trouble with the law.
You're overcommitting.
I don't ever commit. It's scary.
So some good action this afternoon. We also had Silicon versus Treasure Valley. Treasure Valley victorious there. And that was they were about doubled up on the score at the half of that one.
Yep, I went in and I decided to take a little look-see before going off to the next bout to announce. And it looked like, they were really winning. They were really winning, Treasure Valley. It's been a few years since I've seen Treasure Valley play. I remember the first Spud Town going there, and they've come a long way, baby.
I also saw Wasatch today victorious over Arizona.
You've seen a lot of things happen here in this tournament.
I use my eyes. Yeah.
Your eyes. This whole time I've been doing it wrong. And we are back on. It appears to be. I heard whistles, so that must mean something, right?
It does. We're just about back to the action. We've got one Deep Valley belligerent jammer sitting in the box, which means Uinta on the power jam, and they really need to pick some points up to close down this scoring gap.
Well, let's see if Milk Toast Boy, who is your jammer for Uinta, can make it happen. Looks like there's some passive defense going on, and sure enough, Milk Toast Boy does make his way through, and he is your lead jammer. Gets around, trying to get around the inside, can't quite do it, starts to go around the outside, and makes it, but goes down around. Oh, but it looks like just as he was getting his points, he gets a back block, sending him straight to the box.
Milk Toast Boy leading the league today for hair. He has a lot of hair, not only on his head, but also on his face.
Indeed, he does. Looks like Milk Toast Boy went in pretty hot there into the box. Looks like he might have even knocked over the bench a little bit. A lot of oohs and ahs, and I know that is now a major penalty. If they come in too hot and if the NSOs are touched, that could get him ejected from the game.
And right now, not our lead jammer, but back on the track is number 76, and that's Chemtrail for Deep Valley Belligerents. And he slides through 2 blockers from Uinta in the front of the pack for a 5-point pass hit, honey.
Indeed, he did. Looks like his team is going to let him go on his own. They have a lot of trust in him that he can get through without making any penalties, and sure enough, he does. He pushes himself right through that middle of that pack, and another 5 points in the air.
10 points so far on the jam, and an interesting pack setup right now for Uinta.
Indeed, it is.
They've got 3 blockers on the left and 1 kind of trailing on the right.
I'm not quite sure what the strategy is there. I've been actually seeing that a little bit more in this tournament, and it's something new that I haven't seen, but there must be something to it. I'm not quite sure.
It's almost like the 4th one's a troubleshooter, waiting to see where something might get through and then closing it down when it starts.
Another 5 points for Chemtrail for Deep Valley. as he makes his way back to the back of the pack. Looks like he was only going against a 2-all on that last one, and he is still able to get his 5 points. Was that 5? Almost looked like a 4, but I believe that was 5 points.
I think you're exactly right. So that's going to take our score to Uinta Madness 51. They are in the black shirts. Our red shirts out there are Deep Valley Belligerents. They are 139. We're down to 5:22, and both teams have all their timeouts, which could become an issue as we get closer to the half and someone wants to sneak in an extra jam.
Indeed, that could happen. Urban Cowboy for Deep Valley jamming. He is the lone jammer out there with Milk Toast Boy still sitting in the penalty box. He is your lead jammer, Urban Cowboy, not Milk Toast Boy.
I'm not staring at a... Oh, and they're going to say he was out of control and came in hot and low.
Yes,
and
that might have
intent does
been...
not matter on the low block majors.
Nope,
so
that was
pretty sure
a low
that's going to be a
block.
trip to the box right there.
Indeed it is. Milk Toast Boy gives him a little thumbs up like, hey, buddy, I just had a good time in that penalty box. You have a good time, too. Kick back.
And I'm not sure because we're kind of across the track and there's several people in front of us, but it almost looked like a clothesline was delivered there against Milk Toast Boy in turn 1.
It is difficult to see. We have a lot of NSOs in our way, so you make your own assumptions at home of what happened there. Oh, a nice big hit on Milk Toast Boy. He goes down. Oh, and another one, sending him to the inside. That is number 22, Deep Valley, John McLean. Giving him a rough time. Milk Toast Boy just cannot stay on his skates.
I don't know what Milk Toast Boy did to them, but they are taking it out in spades.
They're mad. Looks like we're having a penny pass there. Milk Toast Boy said, I've had enough. I don't want to do this.
Deep Valley Belligerent seems to have saved all of their hugest hits collection for this particular jam. 5 or 6 huge hits in a row delivered.
Definitely. And it looks like he's got number 570, Inthane.
I'm going to say Inthane in the membrane would be the full version of that name. Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, and a track cut. Just as Urban Cowboy was released for the box, he tries to get through that pack, but cuts the track. Inthane still on the track. He's got 5 points.
Urban Cowboy almost looked disdainfully at the referee as if he did not agree with Del from Hell's assessment of the situation.
Indeed, he
which
did
is
not.
so rare from the skaters. Usually,
especially the men. That's usually, I feel like that they give them the thumbs up and a good nod like, yeah, buddy.
Sometimes they give them a good game. They just come by for the good game.
Yeah, little pat on the butt.
Mm-hmm.
They're off to the penalty box.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, actually, I've seen them call their own penalties on themselves and say, you know what? No. I don't agree with what I did. I'm going to go ahead and take myself out and go to the box.
I was wrong.
Yes. They know when they've done wrong. Those men, they sure are honest.
All right, so we're doing a little more clarifying in the middle. Once again, Ms. Spider down in the center going to clarify it for the house call. We are standing by. And what is your next action? Do you know what you're doing next on the microphone? Who you'll be?
I believe that this is it for me for the night. So for the rest of the night, I will be on the Ninkazi Brewery, drinking one of the delicious beers there in this beer garden here tonight.
They do have some really good beverages available right here at the Big O.
Indeed they do. I want to patronize local businesses. Not patronize in the way that I usually do, you know, in a disdainful way.
Sure. No, you're trying to give them business. I
Yes.
get it. So you
With
actually
money.
have an interesting bout coming up tomorrow,
I
which
do.
I'm sure you're already aware of.
Oh,
11:30.
sure.
Victorian versus Arizona. So you get to call for the Aussies there.
I do.
And that'll be going down. You'll be on mic with Demoralizer from Lava City Roller Dolls. That should be super fun.
I like that.
And then I'm going to be following you on that next spouse on the house call. That's going to be Terminal City against Sacred City, and that one looks kind of interesting, too.
That one will be fun. That one will be a good one to see.
And so that's 11:30 and then 12:15. So you definitely tune in for those.
I will tune in for those. I will be here.
Emerald City as well. Emerald City versus Sin City.
I was calling the Sin City bout against I believe Humboldt earlier today, and that was a very exciting bout. Sin City had the lead for the longest time, and then all of a sudden towards the end, Humboldt had a couple of power jams and was able to come back, and they just barely missed it by 3 points. I believe Humboldt called it off a little too early before they should have. I think she thought maybe she had gotten those enough points to make it a lead, but not quite. Just a little short.
They almost took it on that last power jam, and it came down to the final seconds. As a matter of fact, I think the period clock had expired, and we were actually on jam time.
We were indeed. Just called it off a little too early. It happens. I've seen this happen multiple times. Just a little bit of it's difficult to be aware when you're getting pounded on by 4 other women. It's hard to, be able to watch the time, say, hey, what's going on up there? Yeah.
It's interesting because I think people forget about that a lot, especially when they're up in the stands. A lot of times I'll hear fans shouting, what are you thinking? You called it off too early or whatever. What I was thinking is that I had something near my cranium, and then I had someone's butt in my chest.
Exactly.
And someone else was stepping on my leg.
It's all of those things. Actually, as a jammer myself, I can tell you, there's a lot of times where you're glancing at the clock, but all of a sudden you just get pounded out of nowhere. You usually don't have that luxury of taking the time to see what's going on. You have to just rely on coaching.
We're getting back to the action. It looks like Uinta Madness breaking through for lead jammer 801 is Ponyboy Hurtis.
Ooh.
And right now, Uinta Madness could actually use quite a few points here before the half to try to pull this a little bit tighter.
They need these power jams, and hopefully they can get up a couple of grand slams. Ponyboy Hurtis having a really difficult time trying to make his way through, getting a little one-on-one time there with Deep Valley's blocker. I can't quite see who that is.
Ponyboy Hurtis through for 5 points. He's going to try to put an assault on Deep Valley Belligerents once again here. And we hear the whistle, but not the jammer. So Uinta recycled once again, and a nice hit there.
Beautiful hit by Uinta. I think that is You'll Lose.
Very well timed, allowing Ponyboy Hurtis to not be recycled all the way to the back again, and he smartly calls off the jam. It was a very slow go. It's kind of a rocky road and not a lot of tread on the tires and mostly uphill.
All of those sayings. He called it off just in time, just as Urban Cowboy was coming out of the penalty box. So that will release the jammer, and now we will have 2 jammers back on the track, which is something we haven't seen in a while. This will be something new. Let's see what happens. Let's tune in.
We only have 1 blocker sitting in the box, so it's almost all 9, but close to 10.
So close. So close. But this isn't horseshoes, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Mr. D, is that what we're calling him? Downer, excuse me. That's Downer as your lead jammer for Deep Valley.
He gets back to that pack, and it looks like Milk Toast Boy giving him the business.
Indeed he does. You will lose jamming on that last one. Looks like he picked up 1 point for Uinta.
And Milk Toast Boy might have had some regressed feelings from earlier when they beat him relentlessly for about 5 minutes on the far side of the track.
I want to know what happened. What is this beef that they have with Milk Toast Boy? They have really been hitting on him.
Milk Toast Boy looks like he easily weighs 140 pounds, so he's a ginormous specimen.
You will lose jamming for Uinta, along with number 40, Izzy Sirius from Deep Valley. And he is your lead jammer. He is serious indeed. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not Sloppy Joe, excuse me.
Sloppy Joe getting nice and low on his straightaway, which you want to do as a jammer.
A gorgeous little jump there, giving him 5 points. You will lose, still trying to make his first pass through there.
Super nimble, and some big hits being delivered by the Deep Valley Belligerents blockers right in the middle of that pack. Still trying to get through is Uinta Madness. It looks like 920. You'll lose out of the pack now as well. Not the lead jammer, but could put some heat on.
Let's see. He's about to make his way back through for his scoring pass. Sloppy Joe makes his way through. Gonna call it off before You'll lose is able to put any points on the board. However, Sloppy Joe with 5.
Sloppy Joe with the 3 or 4 kiss round there to all the fans. I like it when Sloppy Joe can blow some kisses. That makes me happy.
Oh, I love a little showmanship there. A little show-offery, if you will. And that is going to put us in halftime. Looks like Deep Valley 155 to Uinta 66. We have about 14 and a half minutes here in the half. We'll see you back here in a little bit.
on check. And we've we've seen a physical first half. We did have one ejection for gross misconduct.
Hit a honey. We are just about ready to start the second period. We have Uinta Madness wearing black tops. They're at 66. Deep Valley at 155. And we're just counting down the seconds until we get ready for equipment checks and the first whistle. The first half was...
Do you want to actually count down the seconds? 24, 23, 20... No, okay, go on, please, continue.
Without the apple dropping, it's just not the same. I am excited about the derby we're seeing here tonight, though. Early on, it was all Deep Valley belligerents, and then Uinta Madness pulling up a few power jams to cut down the score a bit. And it was a little violent.
A little dicey out there. I would go as far to say violent. Pure, raw violence. I've always thought of men's derby. It's just like women's derby, except you take out all the grace and all the beauty and just put in pure, raw testosterone. But exactly the same as women's derby. Oh, was that a Freudian slip? Derby?
Right now, both teams with some penalty issues. It looks like Uinta Madness 13-13 is Honthor, and he has 6.
Ooh, that doesn't look good.
Muffin Muncher with 5.
Oh, I don't want to see Muffin Muncher go. He's too much the connoisseur of pastries.
And then we also have 4 with 3 penalty minutes on the Deep Valley belligerent side as well.
It looks like now that the derby is happening, Graves from Deep Valley, he is your lead jammer, and he has already put 5 up on the board for Deep Valley. Ooh, and a nice little beautiful maneuver. He skated backwards right past Milk Toast Boy, putting another 5 on the board. It looks like Ponyboy Hurt is still trying to make through his initial pass, but having a very difficult time with that Deep Valley wall.
Milk Toast Boy, if there's any beatings going on the track, he is in them. That time I think he was beating himself as he kind of fell off the track on the side there.
If there's beatings happening, you can gosh darn bet that Milk Toast Boy is going to be there.
Pretty sure he has those rubber bones too, because it didn't seem to faze him at all.
Not a bit. Looks like Ponyboy Hurt is going to sit in the penalty box. Didn't quite see what that penalty was. Again, it was on the other side of the track, which we cannot see on turn 2 there.
And that was Graves with a 5-point pass, followed by Graves with a 5-point pass.
And then Graves followed by a 5-point. I just keep saying it. It's going to happen again here in a moment if he has anything to say about it. However, Uinta looks like they're putting on a little bit of a better wall here, slowing him down. Got a 3 wall, starting to bridge it out. And he does indeed. Gets through with another 5 points. Really securing that lead here. Getting pretty comfortable over there with Deep Valley.
Deep Valley with a blocker short, so Uinta actually has the pack advantage. But that whole jammer in the box thing, that kind of hurts.
It definitely does not work out when you have a jammer in the box. You score 0 points actually with the jammer in the box. I don't know if you knew that about roller derby, but that's a true statement.
I'm still trying to kind of get some of the,
well,
but maybe, yeah.
I'm going to, as far as to say, it is a fact. I will say that.
That's strong, madam.
I know. I'm committing for once.
We're getting back to the action here, and it looks like we've still got Deep Valley belligerents on the offensive. They are in a power jam with number 76, Chemtrail, right out there on the track. He has 1 to beat, and so he does, and grabs lead jammer for Deep Valley.
Indeed they are. It looks like Deep Valley is stretching out their pack there, playing a little offensive derby. Oh, just kidding, because we just got Ponyboy Hurtis back into the pack, and now he's zigging and zagging his way through that whole line of Deep Valley blockers.
And it looks like Sloppy Joe with the smackdown there on Ponyboy Hurtis. Putting him in the middle, recycle him clear to the back.
Exactly. He was almost there, so close, but not enough. And it looks like in the meantime, Chemtrail putting up another 5 on the board and about to do so again. Oh, but another hit. Oh, to the outside. Ponyboy Hurtis tripping over Chemtrail there as they both go down.
Chemtrail narrowly missing as he almost got hit with the first shot, and then someone else fumbling over the top of him, and then someone, I think, almost falling on his head, and that'll leave a mark.
Indeed it will. Looks like Chemtrail is getting sent to the penalty box. Honthor putting a big hit on him. At first I thought Honthor was the one getting the penalty, which would get him fouling out from the game, but nope, he is still in it.
And Ponyboy Hurtis takes another fall as Deep Valley seems to really enjoy teeing off on him.
Indeed.
He's out of the pack, but not the lead jammer right now for Uinta.
He is going to come back through and make that. I think that was his initial pass. This is going to be his scoring pass. Muffin Muncher really trying to help out his jammer, but they were able to roll right off. Deep Valley was, and knock out Ponyboy Hurtis all the way, and so he's going to have to make his way through again, and indeed he does, and he gets 5 points on the board for Uinta. They really need these power jams here behind. They're at 72. Deep Valley at 193. Excuse me, Uinta is at 71. There's a little point change there.
Ponyboy Hurtis on the last pass. Part of what made it possible was Muffin Muncher, who sealed the outside with a nice little wall block and opened up a big channel for him to get through for one of those 5-point passes.
I love that Muffin Muncher can make it happen. Nothing I want to see more in life than that. You lose for Uinta as your jammer, and he's making his way through on his own, and he does get through. He is your lead jammer.
And they're still on the power jam is Uinta. It looks like Uinta all in the back and Deep Valley all in the front, and a sweet little move as he does a 180 right around the wall of Deep Valley. You'll lose picking up, was that 5 or initial pass?
I think that was 5 right there. It looks like Chemtrail just got out of the box. He just did his initial pass, and he is going to start coming back around for his scoring pass. 4 on the board for Uinta, but it looks like he'll call that off.
10 points, I believe, on the jam. So right now, Uinta Madness needs a few more of those things to happen as they're at 80 with Deep Valley at 198. Uinta, black tops, Deep Valley, red tops, 24:02 in the first. Let's make it the second half because this is part 2.
This is part dos even for our friends down south watching.
Part 2.
Oh, are we going over to France here or what? Let's do it. Number 28, Downer, jamming for Deep Valley. Oh, and our favorite Milk Toast Boy for Uinta, trying to get knocked down and messed around.
They just gave him a chiropractic adjustment there in turn 1. And getting out of the pack first is number 28. That's Downer for the Deep Valley Belligerents.
Coming
Milk
back
Toast
through.
Boy getting ready to run another assault, and he is once again on his knees.
Looks like Downer is getting sent to the box for a forearm call. So this will be a power jam for Uinta, which is exactly what we were just talking about that they need right now. They could use a couple 5 on the board. Looks like Muffin Muncher trying to help out his jammer and does so successfully.
Milk Toast Boy threw for 5 on that last pass.
Indeed
and he's
he is.
Getting back into the pack now. Taking a shot is number 69.
That's Mr. Dick. Indeed it is.
And swing and a miss. He's through for another 5 points. Milk Toast Boy, I'm just going from memory, but I'm going to say this is his best jam so far.
He has stayed on his skates for most of this jam, and once again getting through for another 5 points. I'm seeing a lot of Deep Valley skaters getting sent to the box. Looks like he only has 1 blocker, 2 blockers to get through right now. 2 blockers, and looks like Uinta is doing a great job of actually keeping the 2 blockers apart. Oh, another blocker getting sent to the box for Deep Valley. I have a feeling they're going to wave him off. I don't think there's even enough room in the penalty box for him. So he's
Sloppy Joe just about removed the head from Milk Toast Boy.
I don't know that Milk Toast Boy is getting up after that one. Indeed, he is not. The EMT staff is going to come to his rescue and see what happened there. That was indeed a very big hit by Sloppy Joe.
As he came down, his mouthpiece was put aside almost immediately, spit it right out.
I did see that. Looks like they're going to give him, his team is going to give him a little bit of breathing room here.
He's very tall, and it seems like he presents a target for Deep Valley.
He's definitely an upright jammer, which makes it a little bit easier for them to topsy-turvy him over. But he has been getting right back up and making his way back through every single time. This time was just a little bit more than he could handle, but he is up and skating back to his bench. He is okay. No assistance required.
He is taking such a beating tonight. He is my early vote for Warrior of the Bout.
I agree. Couldn't agree more. Milk Toast Boy just putting up that fight. And you have to respect that.
I feel like he's channeling a little Rocky Balboa in this one.
Do.
And picking up points. 96 for Uinta Madness, 200 for Deep Valley, 22:01 left. I've talked a little bit about it earlier today, but a little challenging with the men. There's not a lot of the teams yet. And so sometimes that matchmaking process is a little tricky.
Indeed it is. Yeah, they're still trying to figure out their stats and rankings and such. And I think that this is going to be a good part of that, this tournament here tonight with the men's teams.
Ideally, you would be able to set up bouts that are competitive.
Correct.
But also bouts where one team isn't manhandling, if you will, the other team.
I will. Yeah, a lot of these teams are pretty new. We saw them last year in the Big O for the first time. At least for me, I know there's a lot of these teams I hadn't seen before. But they are here. They are back again. Back in the saddle, if you will.
We started talking about penalty minutes a little bit earlier, and we had actually 23 at the half for Uinta, 24 for Deep Valley, and that was at the half. And we've seen a succession of people in and out of the box since then. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's higher now.
As I am looking at the penalty box right now, I see more gentlemen in that box. So I am going to venture a guess that you would be correct, that more time has been served in the box since the half. It's a good assessment by HP Shovecraft here tonight.
Deep and insightful like a flowing river. We've got some more great derby coming up tonight. We will have a lot of really good derby tomorrow. We've kind of talked about it before, but Australia's here, England's here,
yes,
Canada, and
all
of course all of our Western friends here at the Big O. Juniors, men, women, it's all happening right here.
All of it. We accept all walks of life here at the Roller Derby Big O. Crowd getting really into it, though. I feel like they're trying to drown us out so that they don't have to listen to us, which actually is a good idea, to be quite honest with you.
I can't fault their strategy. Wasatch shirts is what I'm seeing over in that corner, so I believe they are pulling for Uinta, who is trying to come back mightily here. Deep Valley from California, Wasatch closer to where Uinta hails from.
So we got some rivalry going on here. You'll lose jamming for Uinta right now. Ooh, a nice little slide move right through the inside, putting 5 on the board. Looks like number 28, Downer, has just been released from the penalty box, jamming for Deep Valley. I think that this is going to be his initial pass. I can't quite remember. Yes, indeed, that is his initial pass. So this next round, he will be scoring, hopefully. Nope. Calling it off before Deep Valley is able to put any on the board.
And that is one strategy I've seen employed before, is grabbing lead jammer, spending a little time getting out of the pack, call off the jam.
Indeed.
And then rinse and repeat.
So the shampoo bottle tells me.
That's working great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You have some real body going on.
Do you like this?
I really do.
I used my sister's
shampoo
today.
Actually, your outfit in general, very nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's working.
Decided to dress up for a change. I decided to shower today, so that's a big step in the right direction.
That's crazy.
I know. And put on lipstick even. And meanwhile, in roller derby, we have Oh Honey jamming for Deep Valley, and I think that is that Ponyboy Hurtis out there jamming for Uinta.
I believe you are correct, and I think it's Oh Henry.
Oh Henry, excuse me, not Oh Honey. I was just hoping that we would have similar names. It's hard to tell. His name was actually crossed out on our rosters, because why wouldn't it be? Why would his name not be crossed out when he's playing?
Sometimes I feel like it's the difficulty factor, so we can opt for a little bit more difficulty factor on our calls by having names crossed out or implements put in front of us so we can't read some of the things that are going on inside the building.
They're setting us up for failure, I feel like. What they don't already know is that I will fail on my own just fine. Thank you. Without your help, anybody and everybody.
You've got this handled. All right, out of the pack first is number 28.
Is that Downer, I believe? Downer for Deep Valley.
It is indeed Downer.
You will lose jamming for Uinta, not too far behind Downer, as Downer makes his way through that pack and calling it off, trying to stop it before You Will Lose was able to get any points.
And I think someone landing a flying karate chop type of move there on You Will Lose.
That was Dr. Rotten. Dr. Rotten indeed, and that is going to send him to the penalty box.
I think there was some air gain there by You Will Lose as a result of that shot. Something about objects in motion, tending to say in motion objects. What? No?
Science.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah,
anytime I'm trying to calculate, yes.
There we go.
Anytime I'm trying to calculate things, I just say math, and that immediately solves the problem. Same works for science. They go hand in hand.
There are just some hellacious hits being laid out by both teams this evening. I'm not sure if no one got a nap or if it's just like a lot of like real low blood sugar out there.
They're grumpy pants. That's what I'm going to say.
They are not happy. 114 is Uinta Madness. 200 is Deep Valley. Uinta Madness, black tops. Deep Valley, red tops. We're down to 19:08 left in this one. And Uinta Madness initially not scoring a lot of points, but they've brought up a lot more points as they started getting power jams.
Indeed they did. Putting up some grand slams there on the board, really helping them out here tonight, which they really need. Looks like we have only one blocker out there for Deep Valley, but they do indeed have a jammer, which I think is more than I can say for Uinta.
It's Graves out there right now for Deep Valley, and he is churning his way into turn 2 and is out for lead jammer, Deep Valley Belligerents.
Looks like Graves is being met with a 4-wall of Uinta. Looks like they're trying to bridge that and spread it out so that he can't get through, but he does indeed get through for 5 more points for Deep Valley, just trying to widen that gap a little bit more on the score.
Uinta still hoping that their jammer will one day come home. And Deep Valley's assault continuing with another 5-point pass. So 15 points on the jam.
Graves motioning a little bit there to the crowd. I like that. I like it when they show off a little bit. It's fun.
Deep Valley going into that passive offense where they've got some sitting on the left, some sitting on the right of the track. You don't know which way the sweep's going to come from when they finally unleash it.
You don't know. I don't know. It looks like Muffin Muncher might have just been sent to the box again, which that might be enough to make him foul out. I see a ref motioning to him. We'll find out here in a moment.
It seems very likely that some of our men will be promoted to fans shortly.
Very shortly. I have a feeling these benches are going to get much smaller here very soon.
Graves with another 5-point pass for Deep Valley, but don't look now. We've got some jammer on jammer going down.
You'll lose for Uinta. But Graves decides to call it off before it gets to be too much.
You'll lose doing this fancy I'll get my hips around your hips thing.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Can I say, can guys do something that's cute in Guys
As long
Derby?
as you're not telling them directly.
Okay. Indeed, I don't want to. After watching this bout, I don't want to say anything to these gentlemen.
So telling the viewers at home, I think, is fine. Telling them afterwards or at the after party that they were cute during the hip-on-hip thing, you probably can't do that.
But I showered today. Doesn't that count towards anything?
It was a really good start.
I'm trying. Oh, Henry is your gym. Not oh, honey. Oh, Henry. I got it right this time.
And that's
Jammer for Deep
570
Valley.
out there for Uinta Madness, and that's
Something.
insane. And the rest of it's implied, not stated, but it is probably in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
Yeah.
We're gonna venture a guess. Anyway, We are about to get started here. A lot of noise happening here on the other track. I'm not quite sure what's going on, and now I'm curious.
Something very exciting, but getting out first, exciting here, not the lead jammer, is number 0. That's O. Henry.
In Thane decides he's going to get the lead jammer and decides to call it off before Deep Valley is able to put anything on the board. A smart move. They don't need any more points up there for the other team.
There was a bout on earlier. It was Lane County against Arizona, and Lane County, some of them hauled off the track or removed from the track because their parts were no longer working properly.
Oh, that sounds icky.
I think someone went to urgent care.
It tends to happen in men's roller derby. That's a real life thing. I can see that the stretcher is ready. It looks like we have Ponyboy Hurtis jamming for Uinta, but he is not your lead jammer. That's going to go to Carl Marksman for Deep Valley. But he immediately calls it off. Not quite sure why. Nobody gets points in this one.
It was a tie.
Indeed it was. It was like the jam should have never happened. It was just a waste of time. That might have actually been what was happening, is some wasting of time.
When we get back to the action, Uinta Madness is calling on 920 You'll Lose. And I just realized I haven't seen Milk Toast Boy for a little while.
Indeed, after that last heavy hit that he took, he has not gone in. He's still sitting on the bench.
Good news, though, is that he's sitting on the bench.
Indeed, and not on a stretcher. I think that I heard that we are going to have an official review here. This is just what I think that I've heard, so it doesn't need to be true.
Sometimes what we get to do is we get to listen in on the house call.
The real announcers are working right now. We just steal their material and regurgitate it as our own.
So looking at tomorrow, we've got a 2:30 bout. It'll be Deep Valley Belligerents against Puget Sound Outcast.
Those are my boys, Puget Sound. We have a lot of coaches from Dockyard Derby Dames actually on PSOD.
That sounds like it could be interesting. And the last bout that we'll have tomorrow evening is at 5:45, and that's going to be Victorian against Wasatch. That could be interesting. Yeah.
Maybe I'll stick around and watch.
Wasatch looking really good last night, but Victorian already
Indeed.
claiming a victory, and both of those teams on a collision path for tomorrow night. I feel like we could do that Monday Night Football thing where the helmets kind of, you know?
Do we get graphics like this with roller derby?
Hold on, ready? Here's a skate,
Okay, ready? 2 skates are coming, and boom! That was amazing.
Yeah.
We don't need fancy schmancy graphics here on roller derby. We have HB Shovecraft with his little hand motions, little hand puppets happening here. I know you guys couldn't see that at home, but mine is blown right now. Nicely done, good sir.
I spent a lot on that, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. When we get back to the action, we're going to be Uinta in the black tops at 114. Deep Valley Belligerents are wearing red. They're at 225. About 15 and a half left in this one, and it has been a bit of a beatdown.
A little bit.
And I can't even say it's one-sided. Both teams beating the other team down.
To a pulp.
We've got the score issue and then the physical issue, and these men do not appear to like each other.
No, they don't. Some man-on-man action here tonight.
Okay.
Anyway, back to roller derby. You'll lose. Uinta Madness jamming. Can't quite see who the Deep Valley jammer is right at this moment. Looks like that's going to go to number 33, Sloppy Joe. We've been seeing a lot of heavy hits come from Sloppy Joe. Oh, and a big, huge pile up there on turn 4. I'm not even sure what happened, but it's sending a lot of people to the penalty box right now from each side.
I think 5 skaters or something were tangled up in a bunch over there in turn 4, and through for 5 points is number 33, and that is Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe with some crazy hard hits earlier tonight as well.
Very much. You'll lose, not too far behind, starting to make his way through, but it is getting called off before You'll Lose is able to score any points on that jam.
Sloppy Joe just seeing a small space in that fence that was the Uinta defense, and he slips through when no one's looking for 5.
Who doesn't like a guy that just slips through when nobody's looking? So, official timeout we're going to take here right now. It sounds like that there's some scoreboard issues as I listen in on the house announcers here.
They really know what they're doing.
They know it. Hey, they have a better angle. They have the advantage. We can say that we don't have the good angle. We have that going for us here today.
We definitely need the out. Let's see, what else is going on tomorrow?
Please, enlighten us. Enlighten us.
Yes, I will. We have Southern Discomfort versus Drive-By for the men.
Drive-By, I believe, is from LA. Southern Discomfort is the
team.
Yes, the English team, the English London team.
They are. I don't know if you saw their logos, but they sort of have a gentleman with a bottle of something that you can't quite make out on the picture.
Indeed.
Southern Discomfort.
I like it.
It's kind of a liquor reference, I believe.
Well, that's up for interpretation.
I don't want to read it too much. You're right. Now I just feel like I'm assuming.
Oh, Henry, I believe that is, as your lead jammer for Deep Valley. And it looks like we have 801 Ponyboy Hurtis. Not too far behind. Oh, Henry indeed. He makes his way through. He goes down a little bit, but still gets his 4 points and calls it off. Oh, but it looks like Uinta is able to pick up a few points. I think that's 3 that Dell from Hell is signaling there. Very nice.
A lot of crazy action, and with technical difficulties and a few slight official reviews, and then a little bit of injury thing going on.
And foul outs and derby and hits and injuries and things and all of that.
Don't look now, but Milk Toast Boy back on the track.
Oh, I love it. But not before Sloppy Joe gets through and is your lead jammer for Deep Valley in the reddish orange.
You'll lose, taking a little bit of a beating from all of the Deep Valley belligerents at the front of the pack.
Definitely a lot of defense happening here tonight. Those men just hitting left and right and left and right.
Sloppy Joe picking up 4 rather than 5. One player out of play as he went through. So couldn't pass those hips.
Those hips don't lie. That was a Shakira reference.
Thank you.
But I changed it.
You did great, though. It was very natural.
Thank you. And it looks like You Will Lose is out of the pack and making his way back around for some scoring. Just kidding. Sloppy Joe is going to call it off after getting his 4 points on the board. Just securing that lead that much more. We are now at Deep Valley, which is in the reddish-orange shirts at 246. Uinta in the black, 117.
And we're winding the clock here. We're inside of 12 minutes remaining. It looks like on the line for Deep Valley is number 69.
Mr.
And that
Dick.
is Mr. Dick.
Going against Ponyboy Hurtis for Uinta. Oh, we're doing a little backwards skating here. I think Mr. Dick might have hit him out, forcing him way back.
Mr. Dick with the immediate shot. It looks like his idea was to kind of roll him backwards and waste some time.
And maybe even forcing a cut there, but didn't quite work out. I believe Ponyboy Hurtis is your lead jammer. He was able to jump back in and to secure that, but Mr. Dick also making his way through. No points are awarded, though, to Deep Valley. Ponyboy Hurtis picks up 4. Big 4 spot, which is exactly what they need right now to chip away at that lead.
I don't think that we've seen anyone leave yet, which is a little surprising because we have so many people on the verge of not
Tears?
getting
No. Fouling out is what you were going to say, Wesley. I was hoping you were going to say tears. With all of the hits going on here tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was on the verge of tears.
Both might be appropriate this evening.
Number 1864 for Uinta, jamming. I don't think Khan is his name. I don't think we've seen him jam yet tonight. I've seen him put on a lot of hits, but not jam. Looks like our jammer is going to be Chemtrail.
And I believe that is Con.
What did I say?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's a little hard to hear if I'm being honest.
It is. It's very difficult here. It's very loud in here.
There's a lot of noise here, and then whatever's going on at track 1, it sounds like it's a combination of carnival, circus, and a gun show.
If we're going to guess, I would put money on that. I'm going to put money exactly on that.
We're in one large room, so the sound bleeds over it just a touch.
The acoustics are fantastic in here, if I do say so myself. Number 13, Graves, jamming for Deep Valley. He is not your lead jammer, though. That's going to go to Ponyboy Hurtis.
Ponyboy Hurtis hoping to pick up some points for Uinta as he makes his way around the track. He's coming back into that red wall, and a huge hit delivered.
I think that is Mr. Dick, and that was definitely a low block, and he is going to go to the box for that one.
Hit him somewhere between the knee and the ankle, and there was a helicopter-type action that was brought about as a result of that strike.
Yes, I think that there was quite a few hits going on there, but one of them being a low block, sending him to the box.
It's hard to figure out how some people earn those nicknames that they use for Derby.
I'm not going to assume anything. 1864 Khan jamming for Uinta. I think I heard a whistle. The jam is on, but nobody was moving. Now they are, though. I think that is number 28. Downer is your lead jammer for Deep Valley. Khan, not too far behind, though, makes his way through.
Khan on only his second jam of the night, wearing the star, and he has been total action inside the pack this evening, and he's got kind of a bowling ball style when he gets the cap on.
He's one of those blammers that just hits his way through. I kind of like it. Looks like 5 on the board for Downer, putting Deep Valley up to 256 against Uinta 122.
And our blammer going to go take a breath or two on the sideline there in Con. Possibly a Star Trek reference.
Could be. Could be his return coming up here soon. We'll see.
As in Wrath of.
Indeed.
Sloppy Joe out there for Deep Valley, number 33. We send him, put some huge shoulder blocks on out there, and occasionally wears the star. He's doing it right now. Pushed right into the middle of the track.
Looks like they're going to recycle him all the way to the back. Ponyboy Hurtis, though, jamming for Uinta. Almost made his way through, but got hit to the inside. Oh, looks like Deep Valley on Sloppy Joe is going to get a cutting, sending him to the box.
Which means Uinta will go on the power jam here, 124-256. Uinta needing some points.
Nope, not going to happen. Ponyboy Hurtis also getting a cut track, going to send him to the box, which is going to release Sloppy Joe.
Both teams in and out of the box all night. A lot of huge hits, a lot of power jams.
Indeed.
We've seen a lot of single jammer scenarios this evening.
Indeed we have. It looks like, I think what happened here, I was listening to the house announcers for a minute. I think that the Deep Valley jammer had to serve 2 minutes. And so even though Ponyboy Hurtis went in, he got released right away.
Mr. Dick with a big chest-to-chest collision with Ponyboy Hurtis, sending him into the middle, but also sending Mr. Dick to the box.
If Mr. Dick is not fouled out yet, he will soon enough. Oh, Ponyboy Hurtis going to the box. Womp, womp. He really needed that power jam, but now he is not going to get what he was hoping for.
I feel like he was just there.
I do too. And now we have no jammers. They're just going to sit there in their shame in the box. And that is the end of the jam.
Times like this that I wish Mr. Plow would just come out on the track.
Mr. Plow, Mr. Plow. I'm not quite sure what is happening here. We got both jammers in the box. I think that the officials are going to review what's happening here and what to do next.
And I have to say, when you think about exciting, high-speed, adrenaline-drenched derby,
I do not think of my love life as not even close. I'm sorry, what do you think of?
You think of blockers only on the track, no jammers. Jammers are in the box. It's blocker on blocker action.
Indeed.
Give the people what they pay to see, which is a lot of blocking of blockers during a block-off.
Is that what we're going to call it, as a block-off? With 0 points being scored, except, you know what? We're going to start awarding points over here in our little table, but they don't mean a thing. We'll just give points for whatever we feel is necessary.
We have some French fries. We could award French fries to each one of the recipients of blocker points that we've decided to give out.
I give them 3 French fries for a job well done here tonight.
I have seen them give away turkey legs and things at sporting events before. Why not French fries?
And why not? I'm going to go ahead and give Con a good 2 French fries for the lovely ponytail he is sporting here.
He has got some great hair.
I love it.
Really good body, and it's about halfway down the back. If I had hair like that, I too would grow it out very long. I might wear it as a dress.
Oh, as a dress. Fashion something special. I like it.
He's cut it a lot shorter than that, but I'm saying I think that would be a lot of fun.
Why not?
Plus, it's inside, it's outside, all seasons.
It's a lot. Oh, looks like Sloppy Joe, I'm listening in on the House Reporters, is fouling out. He is waving goodbye, getting in his victory lap of shame.
He is one of 2 to foul out, I believe. I didn't catch the other name. We kind of suspected it was a matter of time. This has been a very testosterone-filled event this evening, with many penalties being picked up on both sides. We had people in penalty trouble 30 minutes in, and it's almost 55 minutes in.
We got a little under 6 minutes left in this bout. And it's a shock that there are even players left skating, to be quite honest.
We're getting to have a little bit of a narrow bench. I think that we're just 1 or 2 people fouling out away from you going in for Deep Valley and me for...
I'll do it. I'll do it. Don't you test
madness.
Me. Hit Honey going in as a gentleman here tonight. I shall be no such gentleman. I will be nothing but man. Or I'll just continue to sit here in my shame as Henry jams for Deep Valley.
I'm at least as muscular as you are in my dreams, so that's the direction that I want to go.
HP Shovecraft, I think that you can make it happen here tonight. I don't believe Uinta has a jammer out there. I believe he is sitting in the box right now. I think that is Ponyboy Hurtis looking on.
It's true.
With his skeletal shorts.
Henry picking up 5, and he's back for more here. Uinta Madness all walled up and trying to put the stops on. Henry churning away in the legular area. He is through for another 5-point pass. 10 points so far on the jam, Honey.
For those keeping score at home. A little jammer on jammer. Ponyboy Hurtis comes out and sends Henry out. Ponyboy Hurtis is through. Obviously not your lead jammer. That's going to go to Henry, but he calls it off before any points are scored.
Ponyboy Hurtis has those tricky hips.
Indeed.
That's the second time tonight that he has gone hip to hip front with another skater.
And I like it.
Very effective.
Indeed,
it's hard to go very far forward when there are hips in front of your hips.
Indeed. It's hip squared.
Uinta Madness fans going berserk as we get down to 4:35 here. Uinta Madness in black. Deep Valley is 271 in red.
Indeed they are, and I think that we have You Will Lose up for Uinta Madness jamming along with Chemtrail, number 76, for Deep Valley.
Both jammers out of the pack, and interestingly, Chemtrail out second, but he is our lead jammer, so he did it. He must have been the only one to pass all of the opposing skaters.
Legally.
I was going to say he might have picked up a minor, but then I thought, nope, that would have been last year.
No, that did not happen.
No.
There is no more minors left.
Oh, clearly I'm on top of the rule set.
Clearly they chose the wrong 2 people here to be announcing to those at home tonight. 3 3:08. Carl Marksman jamming for Deep Valley. Oh, looks like we have another foul out. Uinta losing another player, fouling out. Just making the bench that much shorter.
And you'll lose doing a 360, 180 thing to get out of the last line of defense as he swaps all the way around, but getting out for not lead jam is Carl Marksman. And you'll lose doesn't like what he sees and says, we're done.
We're done here. We don't need this anymore. He was doing some nice spin moves, though, Red. I will agree with that. Beautiful spin moves.
A lot of spinny stuff going.
And it's gotten to the point where Uinta is down so many players that You'll Lose just jammed and now is having to go in and block.
I count 4 extra people on the bench for Uinta.
Doesn't matter. They need a break and they're going to sit. 8:01, Ponyboy Hurtis jamming for Uinta. I think I believe that's O. Henry for Deep Valley jamming and is your lead jammer.
And he's sort of strolling. I think he's fine with burning a little clock. And if points come, great. And if not, clock will be burnt.
Burn that clock down. I'll burn it to the ground. Looks like Ponyboy Hurt is still trying to make his way through. Finally does. Gonna come through on his scoring lap. O. Henry gets his 5 points and decides to call it off.
And we're just about down to 2 minutes left. I think both teams are sitting on their full complement of timeouts. I'm not sure if either team will want to use a timeout. It seems like whatever's going to happen here is probably going to happen at this point.
Maybe we'll see some more clock burning here? We'll see. Carl Marksman jamming for Deep Valley. And I think that's You'll Lose, if my eyes don't deceive me.
It's the bespeckled look, I believe, that's giving it away.
Yeah, something I enjoy. Ooh, a big hit. Oh, it looks like Carl Marksman jamming, but he just lost his jammer penny. Enough of a big hit, it knocked it right off of his head. You'll Lose is your lead jammer for Uinta. I have a feeling that this is going to go the full 2 minutes if You'll Lose is indeed your lead jammer. He's not going to want to call that off. He's going to want to get as many points as he can get. And sure enough, he has got 5 points on the board.
Carl Marksman running into a huge shoulder. That was number 570 in Thane, who we've also seen on the jam line tonight.
Indeed we have. Looks like You'll Lose having a little bit of difficulty. Deep Valley really giving him a hard time there on the back, pushing him onto the inside line. Looks like a blocking out of play by John McLean.
You'll Lose helping the officials to make that call. Skaters are very good at that, letting the officials know what they should be calling.
Indeed. I like that. I like it when they motion and say, go ahead and call this. You'll Lose still having a difficult time. Looks like he's a little bit tired trying to make his way through. He still does, and he has 5 points on the board. Carl Marksman, I think that this is going to be his first scoring pass through. Trying to push his way through that wall of Uinta.
Uinta putting him right into the middle of the track, and as he gets recycled, You'll Lose still continuing on his skates, but looking a little like a prize fighter in the final seconds of a 12-round title bout.
If you take a look, actually, at You'll Lose, he has the jammer panty of Deep Valley stuck on his knee guard, on his knee pad.
That is a very neat trick that he's pulled there.
That's going to be a huge bummer as Carl Marksman can't score any points without that jammer penny. I think that he's just going to take it and run with it. He's like, you can't score points. I'm not going to give it back to you.
I have not seen that move before, but You'll Lose with a very unique angle on shutting down the opposition.
Not a bad move indeed. Kind of a fine strategy. Brilliant.
I will take the jammer panty and attach it to my knee pad, and you shall not have it.
You cannot catch me. Carl Marksman just kind of trying to make his way through. I don't know if he even realized that he did not have the jammer penny. I don't think he even cared.
And as you pointed out, the scoring goes way down without the panty on your head.
It really does. It null and voids it.
Uinta Madness 148. I know it's unofficial, but we're going to say here that we've got something close to a final. Uinta Madness 148, Deep Valley Belligerents 283.
I think it is safe to say. I said I think, so that nulls out any sort of reality here. I think we can say Deep Valley took this one. Deep Valley in the reddish orange. Plenty of foul outs here tonight in this bout.
And it felt a little marathon-y towards the end there as both teams trying to make sure they had enough people on their bench that they could actually rotate skaters in between jams.
As Deep Valley makes their victory lap, I see a lot of smiles actually on both teams' faces. No hard feelings, even though there was quite the beatdown happening tonight. Looks like they both had a good time.
I do want to do a couple thank yous. One is to the Big O and Emerald
Definitely.
City Roller Girls for putting this event on.
Yes.
And I also want to do a huge thank you to the brilliant and very well attired Hita Honey on my left all evening long right here.
If only the cameras were on us. HB Chefcraft, it has been a fantastic night here announcing with you. I've had a great time. And I want to say thank you to John Maserati and Spider for announcing, the house announcers, so that we could steal their material and actually re-announce it as our own, as if we knew what was going on here tonight.
Especially on those center checks with the officials, sometimes a little tough to do when you're on the wire. They were able to jump down there and a couple times tell us things that we could share with DNN folks at home. So
Indeed.
Thank you to those two.
Yes, for making us look good.
Better.
Better.
Yeah.
Yes, better way to put it. It has been a pleasure here tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.